Excellent. And is that participant Lauren? Yay, it is.
Hi,
Hi,
Lauren.
Hello,
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good, good. All
Small
right,
crew tonight, huh?
it is. It is. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Karen Hoskin, Chair of the Housing Advisory Board. It's our monthly meeting. Today is November 19th, 2025, for a little bit longer. All right, roll call. So Cindy, not here, not online, true? Okay. And Chip, same with Chip. He was unsure if he was going to be able to join us tonight, so we'll see. Lauren is here, Michael's here, Philip's here, I'm here. Who else here? Okay.
Unorthodox roll call.
Philip Ogren,
Here.
Michael Lachese,
Here.
Lauren Shevitz,
Here.
Karen Hoskin. All right. So tonight's agenda will approve or take a look at the minutes from last month, public participation. We have three matters from the board tonight: the manufactured housing panel discussion, the letter to city council, and a work plan review and discussion. Matters from the staff. Any final things, and then we plan on adjourning by 8 o'clock tonight. So as far as the October 22nd minutes, did everybody have a chance to look at them? Did anybody have any comments or corrections that needed to be made? Comments, corrections? Well, I'll make a motion to approve them.
I motion to approve last month's minutes.
Great.
Second.
Awesome. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. None opposed. Motion's approved. Public participation. Tiffany, is there anybody?
There are no members of the public online at the moment.
Okay. All right. Zipping through this. Okay. Matters from the board then. So last month we had the manufactured housing panel, and Michael, I think with this discussion, we can kind of fill you in on maybe some main points.
Sure. And then Tiffany, I will be able to watch it later. But go ahead.
Cool, cool. So I think that the reason that we put this as an agenda item is because it seemed like it's a big topic. And after the panel, it got some people thinking, and it seems like we didn't, like maybe there was more discussion to be had. So yeah, I guess I just kind of wanted to hear from anybody if people had further thoughts about what was presented. So we can just kind of have some rolling discussion, but what I would like to end with would be to just like identify the problem, I guess, or specific action items. Again, certainly great information, but now what kind of thing? Notes I scribbled from last month.
Yeah, I was gonna say, any kind of review summary to help me
Refresh your brain.
bring up this file in my brain, which is struggling at the moment.
I did scribble some notes, but
Can I
they're
ask a
kind of
clarifying question real quick?
they're kind of random. Yeah.
Did they come, did they organize themselves in a panel in order to ask HAB for something?
No, they were invited by HAB to present information so that we kind of had a better grasp of.
What was the name of the facilitator?
So the facilitator, the moderator was Molly Taylor. She's with Housing and Human Services, and she came and presented in, help me remember, a few months ago about manufactured
I want to
housing.
say.
July, that sounds about right. Anna Karina was here, and she's a resident and an immigration rights advocate. Carlos was here, and he's a resident and a community connector. Crystal was here, energy equity policy advisor at the city of Boulder. Cindy was our board member, was the one that organized the panel, and she also is a resident. And there was also Anna. There was an Anna and an Anna. Is that true?
Isabel
Isabel.
Sanchez.
Thank you so much. And she is a resident as well as something else. Does anybody remember? A resident, for sure.
She's a board member on Mapleton.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we had a good mix of, we had someone from Mapleton and someone from, the thing at 30th in Belmont. I can't remember the name of that one's a for-profit, community versus Mapleton, which is community land
Community.
trust.
Right.
We also had a resident from Ponderosa, which
Ponderosa.
is a city-owned neighborhood of the land is. And so it was interesting to get the different perspectives from the 3 different situations.
So, was the focus of the panel on preserving this form of housing or keeping it affordable, or what were some of the key points in those regards?
It was kind of a survey of some of the things that they love about it and some of the challenges that make it difficult to sustain. And it wasn't necessarily specific asks or like policy proposals. It was kind of a lot of anecdotes about the kinds of things that are challenging.
What I heard was even, so the community member owned parks, while there's pros and cons to both privately owned and community owned, right? But even the challenging things or the some of them are flat out negative things, still allowed people deeply affordable housing. And so it seemed all of them were in support of making sure that we maintain that we're able to have mobile home parks in town. That's what I heard very clearly.
Was the Ponderosa representative living in an existing manufactured home or in one of the new homes?
He lives in a mobile.
Okay. The only new homes that are conventionally built, right? Boxes are just.
Until next month.
Until next month.
And then what?
We're
Rick's
two
changed?
residents,
Oh,
families.
okay, fine. I thought it was- Isn't the regulation though still at the state level? The codes?
So I think it was interesting to me too to hear about some of the like the mobile homes, especially the older mobile homes, not even just the older ones though, the newer ones as well. Like energy efficiency is a real challenge and is a real expense as well. I jotted this down, national average, a mobile home costs twice as much to heat or cool. And I would imagine obviously that's where you are and what age the home is, et cetera, et cetera. But even with like high utility costs or high lot rentals, it's still more affordable than other affordable. And there were some things that I think I heard a couple of the residents say one of the things that they really love about it is that they have their own little yard, which in a townhomes or condos, you can have your own little yard if that's the unit you have, but not so much apartments. And that was something that they really valued. Although that also meant that you have to take care of trees. And if it's a community funded and you live amongst old trees, that can be scary and dangerous in windstorms and really, really expensive to.
Yeah, one of the themes was that there's a lot of people aging in place in the mobile home communities. And the population of those communities is aging. And there's a lot of difficulty with some of the residents being able to maintain things like trees, afford having someone come out and cut branches or something like that. Or, but also there's all kinds of maintenance things when you own your own place. And that was an area of concern of kind of not just like individual circumstances, but like collectively the demographic is like struggling to have the resources to maintain the places. And then there was kind of like a specific thing that the resident expert who sat next to where you're sitting now, was that Isabel?
Isabel.
Yeah, about having an addition put on because of maybe some damage, or maybe she made the house bigger. I can't remember which, but that had to be up to code, and that made it a lot more expensive. I think. Trying to remember what her comment.
I think there was also some issues with being able to do that because of size, like them being too close to the next home.
And then you brought up at the very end the possibility of helping out with energy efficiency with respect to the roofs. That might be an easier fix than other possibilities.
You know, as reflecting back on the conversation, it may be affordable, you know, deeply affordable. However, to be paying $500 a month for energy, that just seems like a sacrilege, right? It's just like, whoa, these are some of the income challenged people. And yet, so I was that, and all some of the other just basic maintenance, like water pressure, just like, wow, most homeowners know you put the valve in, you don't have your pipes explode. Because just some basic things. And it seems to me that there could be a way to have professionals, architects, builders, kind of evaluate what's the low-hanging fruit, and how can they, you know, collectively start to address what's the first things that, you know, just organize the issues such that they can begin to be resolved with community. What I did as a result was I went to talk to CU. They have a program that apparently Michael's on the board there. He doesn't remember. Need to go look yourself up. It's called CEDAR, CED, and then a little AR. And it is part of the environmental design school, which is sort of planning, architecture, that kind of thing. And they do community, they partner with community. You might know them because they do stuff with the city, and I don't know which one. That unit that got a new exterior put on, I think that was at Mapleton. Many years ago, that came through that program, CU. So the students built a whole new enclosure. So I think it just breaks your heart when you think, oh my gosh, really? And then you consider it, there are some simple things that can be done, just like super insulate the roofs.
So,
And the roofs are most vulnerable in the wind anyway. So,
so the simple things, are they affordable?
this is the challenge I have with the conversation in general.
Mhm.
It's like, you're gonna pay $500 a month in the summer because of air conditioning, in the winter because of heating, when you could be paying $70. Right? I mean, radical reduction in energy use. And so the question is, do you keep pouring your few resources down this bottomless pit? Or do you start strategizing and find, organize so that you can do this? Because I think it's kind of short-sighted to turn everything on its head and say, well, they can't afford to buy, this or to do that. It's just like, well, how can you afford not to? When the kind of resources that are being directed at a problem that's, it's not going to go away unless it gets attended to.
I wonder if it has, I don't know, but I wonder if it has to do with like the upfront cost.
Well, that's why I'm interested in, that's why I went to university, and then they have this program. And apparently the city help fund some of the things that they did. I don't know what departments or
This is something you did between
yes,
meetings. Yeah.
since that. So I think that there are resources. And I think that if one were to organize and, first of all, survey, okay, what are the big issues? And organize them and start to assign costs, because the people who are surveying, like I say, get professionals, get a builder, get an architect, get people who know what they're looking at. This would be on a volunteer basis, recruit them. Yeah, people are always looking for ways to give back. The professions. This is not a big ask to architecture firms, to the big builders like Melton. I mean, this is not a big ask. It's just a matter of organizing oneself to say, okay, here is a way to start, and then get it going, and then start partnering with like that it's not really a department. I'm not sure what it is. Cedar. They have a director, and and I spoke to the director. So there are ways, and like I said, apparently the city relationship to it is they not only help bring the projects to, but they also help fund them. And I don't know which departments are, but yeah, that was my big takeaway is these problems that people are living with. I get it. I don't have the $1,000 to super insulate, but I am paying $500 a month for my utilities, and because you don't want to freeze to death. But so the logic to me is like, okay, let's rewire that. And by providing something that can help restructure, okay, these are things, just a little spreadsheet. Here's what you're gonna, it's gonna be hard for a few months, but then after that, you're gonna actually be saving tons of money. And it's not about getting them to finance it as much as helping them become enthusiastic about
I
change.
think it is about finance.
Well, I think we can find grants. There is money in this community. There is no doubt about it. Now, right now, with the government come back,
Yeah.
still, so the food is the hopefully funded. But there is money in this community. There's no question about it. It's a matter of organizing to figure out what is it we're looking for, and who are the people in the best position to support this. I think that organization at CU is probably a good place to start because they've done it.
Be nice to have a matrix of the different things that were raised and be able to visualize it all. Because right now my brain's kind of stuck on the energy efficiency, and I don't remember if there were, I don't know if the panelists would say that was the big thing that we would focus on or not. I mean, to me, it seems like an obvious place for innovation and for some scaling across a lot of units. And but
And obviously, I don't
So-
know if this board, can their board even
I love that line of thinking. I guess I'm just curious, how do we know what the city is currently doing? Because we know that Crystal's working with the mobile home parks on energy efficiency measures. And I don't feel like I'm not educated enough in to understand exactly what they're doing currently and how we could propose something different.
Or just support them, what they're trying to do. Yeah. That seems like a good action item, honestly, to follow up with her about understanding what they're doing.
Molly?
Not Molly, but
Oh, Crystal.
what's her name?
Crystal.
Yeah. Is that something you can summarize right now?
I'm sorry.
Is that something you could summarize right now off the top of your head? For Crystal and their,
So what, everything that they do,
you know, the,
pretty extensive. And there are different funding pots. Molly could also join if you wanted to really delve into the topic. I guess I go back to asking the question, what is there a problem that you're trying to resolve? So is it, do people feel like they heard that high energy bills was a significant concern?
We'll see, there was a range of things. No, that
it was
was one of them.
definitely a big one. General maintenance and general expense and
Trees.
relationships with
Private owners.
private owners. Lots of things.
I think I definitely heard that energy costs were a concern and that problems with private owners were a concern as well. But I still heard overall, like even with all those problems or challenges, people felt like it's still more affordable.
I think if you hold homeowners, particularly low income homeowners in Boulder, high energy costs would be pretty consistent. I'm not sure it's unique to mobile home communities.
Oh, like, speak about that, like in the Boulder Housing Partners
I'm
project.
talking about people who own their homes.
Oh, individual homeowners. Because the houses may not have been updated.
Think about most of our housing stock was built in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Didn't bother with insulation back then.
Didn't really need it back then.
Yeah, the president was saying we'd have unlimited energy. I guess we'd be practically free.
Practically free. You just drill. Is this after saying?
No, I mean JFK back in the day.
Oh. I remember correct, friend.
No, no.
Don't you worry, we're drilling.
Energy costs are just gonna keep going up. National. What can we do to probably get ahead of the curve on that? So people who are living very modestly aren't squeezed out of their homes because they can't pay a heat bill.
There was also something about interest rates, actually purchasing the home interest rates
Mhm.
were like 20%. It was
Wow, I don't remember that
No.
particular number.
I expect higher, but 20%.
It was
That-
it was high like a number like that.
That was, yeah, for immigrant populations.
okay. Okay. What else, Lauren? Are there other
No, I think,
main points or takeaways from that?
no, I mean, there were a lot of problems that were brought up, but not necessarily things that HAB has much influence over. But I agree, you know, the energy efficiency and just ongoing costs that the mobile home parks are incurring seems to be the biggest item. So
I have a question it's a question because I don't know. So like within Mapleton Park, who literally owns those roads and maintains them? Is it the park?
I think so.
I understand what makes a city road versus a private road. Can you answer that?
Often it's the park owns the roads and maintains them. Ponderosa is kind of the exception. So we converted those to city streets
Okay,
as part of when we replaced the infrastructure and paved the roads.
okay.
But I can't tell you if we have done that in any other parks.
And so, do you know Boulder Meadows, for example? So like Avocado Court, who owns that road?
But it's private. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's private, but I don't know that for sure.
Because that was something that somebody said that the maintaining the roads was really difficult for the privately owned, or not private, excuse me, community owned community park. And so I was trying to understand that because
To be a public road, there are
Smells
particular
very bad,
design
doesn't it?
guidelines.
Potholes, old visual.
yeah. And so
Plowing.
what, say that again, Anna?
To be a public road, they have to comply with particular construction guidelines.
Mhm.
So they've got to meet all of these requirements if you're building a road, because like what comes to planning board sometimes are developments that want to have the roads be public roads, or it would have normally been a public road, but they want to turn it into a private road so that they can relax some of those requirements and get a different ambiance in their area. So it has to do with how they're constructed. Is what the city's not going to take on roads that, you know, they're not able to meet the standards and maintain to the standards and that sort of thing. So that's what we've encountered on planning board. There's criteria through the construction.
So it's very expensive because think about all the curbs, the gutters, sidewalks, stormwater management. So treating all the stormwater from all those streets. So it's a very expensive proposition. Most mobile home parks are not going to have the ability to finance that.
A thought that I was having was, we're having, the Boulder Valley Comp Plan is being updated December, when is the joint?
11th.
11th? One of the values that is in the Boulder Valley Comp Plan is to retain and support manufactured housing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there would be any means within that process to kind of aim some resources to actually accomplish that goal. You know, rather than just have its value, we like our manufactured home communities, but they've got all these issues and, you know, they may not be viable for all that much longer if they're not attended to. So I think it would be worth bringing into the mix of the conversation. So I don't know if HAB wants to put something together and I can bring it to the meeting, because it's a joint meeting between city council and planning board, to talk about, you know, where the process is at and just kind of carry forth the intent, make sure that everybody's on the same page.
And I wonder if even that, like that. Could be something like helping maintain but there would be some funds available to help maintain roads. Something like that, like as a part of preserving and protecting.
Yeah, I would just suggest that it get highlighted as a conversation that needs to be carried forward and maybe added. You gotta put teeth in things sometimes, because we have aspirations, but if they don't trickle down, nothing happens, right? That's what I'm finding out on planning board is we may want a view, we want to maintain our views, but if we don't have, in the zoning or area plans specificity, it's not going to trickle down, and we're going to end up with 5-story buildings all around us, and we're not going to have a view of the Flatirons unless you're Mount Salinas, so. I would like, if there was some kind of an overview and a kind of starting point, I'd be happy to bring it into the meeting on behalf of HAB. Do something, I will liaise. But it seems like that could lead to outcomes that, because people are happy to support it, but let's do something about it. But I wouldn't want it to just be me, saying, well, let's do something about it. I think if HAB weighed in with, we had this panel and here are some of the things that came up. And
Yeah, would you like a letter as a way of, I guess we don't have time to compose and unanimously vote on it, do we?
what would you like city council and planning board to together consider around manufactured housing and the fact that we do value that? I can just ask the question, and
Yeah.
how are we supporting that? What does that look like?
One way to think about it is there is a policy in the comprehensive plan that says we want to preserve manufactured
Correct.
housing. So we have a policy basis. We also have a manufactured housing strategy. So, I mean, it's a pretty full, thick document that was just recently reviewed by city council, identifying actions. So I guess I would ask the question, what is different? What is not in the manufactured housing strategy or in the existing comprehensive plan?
Is
that
the
we think is
strategy,
missing?
anchored to code? Or is the strategy just a means to do things, but it's not necessarily creating requirements to get to some solutions? Like, for example, we change the zoning so that we can have, more density along transit corridors.
Right.
I mean, that's a strategy that actually landed with specificity, and now people can take action.
I would review the manufactured housing strategy first.
Right. Just, you don't know whether there are implications in the code anywhere from it.
Absolutely, there are implications in the code.
That specifically refer and say,
Is the strategy too long and complex to summarize? Like, what are the key points?
I could pull it up and read it to you. I mean, it's a pretty lengthy document. It has 40 to 60 action items in it. The majority have been accomplished over time.
so do
In your
you,
opinion, is there a value add for HAB to come up with a recommendation for council in a specific area?
Well, that's what I'm asking you to identify and be very specific, and then also make sure that it's not already addressed.
So, yeah, I mean, so in addition to the matrix of the problems that have been identified by the panel and others, identified by the strategy documents, like we're missing the the matrix of what's in the strategy document and who are the staff, city staff that are working on the different pieces of that, what's their progress, and like we kind of like skipped over all of that and just went to like, residents and what are your problems, and that I mean, I think it's great to have that kind of testimonial, but like I feel like at the moment we haven't done our homework in terms of like figuring out what's going on and how we can inform the whole process of it. Does that seem like a
Did this strategy document just like in the last couple of months, or has this been years?
I mean, it was adopted, I want to say 2018, 2019. But it's been back to council in 2022 and then again just last summer.
so
So
that
we
that's
seem to have this year.
and Molly gave us a presentation on
Right, a full review of the strategy, what has been accomplished, what it means, what it says. But that was a while ago, so.
So it sounds like we need to put this on the agenda for a future meeting with some homework. Reviewing the strategy and reviewing Molly's presentation, which probably was kind of key to the strategy. What I mainly remember from Molly's presentation was a lot of good raw numbers. There's how many homes there are, and there's how many people are serving. The numbers are kind of speak a lot for themselves. That it's a bigger area of housing than most people would probably recognize. But beyond that, I'd have to refresh my memory on the whole thing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the action items. You said there's like 30 some action items and some of them.
Part of it is the state's role, right? So the city has done what we can to protect it from redevelopment. So basically you can't go in and displace all the residents and replace it with high-end condos, right? So that's a huge policy choice that the city made. But how they're regulated, it's through the state. And a lot of the strategy work has been working with the CMOB and other jurisdictions in the state to try to get the state to change its laws to increase tenant protections.
Oh,
Remember, so a lot of that discussion had to do with, how do we make sure that materials are presented in both English and Spanish. So communication was a big part of that. How do you ensure that people understand their rights against eviction? So there have been multiple bills passed over the past 3 or 4 years, largely due to the advocacy of folks in Boulder around this issue.
who with the city is, would you say is the point person for manufactured housing and advancing those strategies?
Molly and Crystal.
So a lot of the questions, a lot of the issues that came up, they would have spoken up if they were being addressed in some other manner. Is that correct? One would assume.
Well, Molly was the moderator. So
Crystal.
maybe I don't understand. Maybe I don't quite understand.
Well, she's an expert in all the policies and work efforts that are underway. And so like, I think her point is that, well, why didn't she brief us on those as the different issues came up?
We're saying there's
I
a
think-
program and we're working on, just.
There was some of that, right?
There
But-
was some of that, yeah.
Yeah.
You can bring it back. I mean, they're more than happy to chat about it.
I'm sure they are. I don't know what
I wanna-
our role is exactly.
I keep hearing Phil talk about some kind.
Philip.
I'm sorry.
That's
I know.
okay.
It's like, wait a minute, who are you? You changed your hairstyle. I don't recognize you. To give it some structure. It's like, here's this big document, and here's the, policy that is driving it from the BVCP, and here's the things that have been done. Here's the problems that have been identified. Is there a pathway for them to, fall into one of these,
But it sounds like that exists with the strategy.
well, which is curious. It's just like, okay, so if there's a way for mobile homes to be retrofitted for energy, which was one of the problems that they talked about. Is it in the strategy? Is that the nature of a strategy? And what actions have already been taken so that it sounds like the homeowner didn't know that there was even help on the horizon or in the process.
Yeah.
I don't know if I quite heard that.
Well, they said that there were problems, and I don't know that they expected that they would be solved. But I don't, that's again, what we hear, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. I think it would just be good to have a better understanding of what strategies are working their way. Aside from big policy issues like protecting the land and, that sort of thing.
Well, I think, I feel like the ball's in our court in terms of like, there exist documents out there. There's a presentation by Molly that we've all seemed to collectively forgotten, but large talking points from that. So we can review that, and as things come up, we could reach out to ask questions to Crystal or Molly. And then I would think that if, some of us dive in, we might identify some practical areas of advisory we might engage in.
So sometimes my notes are a little scribbly and I write things down and then I go back and I'm like, that actually wasn't a scribble. I wrote it very clearly. And that is actually one of the things that was on the work plan as a potential. And it was building codes and zoning codes specifically related to mobile homes, parks. Anybody know why I wrote that down? Anyone?
One of the concerns was, and I think it was Isabel, the community? Yeah. She had a big mobile home, like 4 bedrooms, and she wanted to downsize. And she was wanting to try to get tiny home, some small, and she couldn't because it was illegal because of building codes, and codes were prohibiting her from. And then there were other things about the economic application of current trailer, and she couldn't sell it in that. If she was not going to be there, would it still be affordable to the next person because it couldn't hold her? So there was some complexity to it, but the idea that, and that was all, because I did look into that, and I actually have a person who is very much looking into the codes and zoning, because the state is right now working on legislature that will consolidate and kind of clean up the building codes that govern manufactured housing. Right now, it's kind of, which is some of the things with tiny homes, right? What are they built to, and will they be accepted in the city as a manufactured home? The state has certain standards, the city has certain standards, and they don't necessarily speak to each other. That's going through the legislative process right now to have an outcome that I think will greatly clarify and benefit people living in manufactured housing that want to change, get you want a different one, change it out. Because I agree, I think that carefully written statement had to do with their hands are tied around making change due to codes.
So again, I think it would be interesting and educational for us to dig in, but I'm just thinking, what's the is it to come up with some points to just say, yeah, so here's some things that have really thinks about like just supporting the Boulder Valley Comp Plan and what's already happening with preserving and maintaining mobile home parks. Like, is that Is that an effective use of our time?
What was the goal with bringing the panel?
I think it was just, it was educational. So it was kind of like a part two of Molly's presentation was like kind of the details and the numbers, but this was having some people, residents and community leaders.
So building
It's
a
a little
knowledge
bit like
base.
the listening sessions of Days of Yore, all those, I think those were bigger. Like, this wasn't a panel of experts, this was a panel of witnesses to a situation. Hearing their
It-
stories.
I think that for those that are interested, I think by next meeting, we could review the mobile home strategic plan and come back with reflections on if there is actually anything else that we feel like needs to be addressed in, like, by the city, based on what we heard from the residents. But until we've actually read what's in that strategic plan, I mean, we can't really do much, right?
Yeah,
Well,
not in this discussion.
Like I said earlier, let's put it on a future. I suggest we put it on a future agenda and I'll have a chance to watch the video by then and I'll know what you're all talking about. And we can all read and mark up the strategic plan and see where we might go with it.
Jay,
But
is
I
there
didn't hear quite what you said.
Oh, I was just kind of affirming the last thing Lauren said. We're not gonna, probably won't be able to make progress on this tonight, given
Right.
where we're sitting.
As part of the review, Jay, is there a component to the manufactured housing strategy plan that shows the status of the different steps? And so there's a web page dedicated to this. Part of it's the document and part of it's the status of the steps, or somehow.
Yes, there's a whole page for manufactured housing in Boulder, and it has the strategy and the action plan.
And the status of that action plan? Cool. Well, that's a good.
Yeah.
Base.
Okay, I'll put that on the work plan as a possibility. Anything else on that topic or on the panel from last week that anybody wants to add? It's just not fresh enough in our brains because it seemed like there was a lot more conversation that was wanted at the
I think
end.
we ought to, it's worth maybe taking a moment to reiterate that it was very generous of them to give their time and testimony
Absolutely.
and you know, there's a lot of upsides to these communities too, and they're highly valued and they dearly love their community, their respective communities, and I think you know, if we could figure out how to plug in a way that's effective in terms of giving city council advice about what they could focus on next, or help identify things, or maybe even just, you know, but maybe what we'll discover is there's a strategic plan in place, and we can help people understand that it's there, but maybe we'll also find opportunities in that. So yeah, I think like I said before, I think the ball's in our court. We have kind of like things we can do to further this conversation.
Laura, did you have anything else to add?
Nope. Thanks, Karen.
Jay, can I just ask a clarifying question? So privately owned mobile home parks in the city are protected by they can't be redeveloped,
Uh-huh.
and that's a state.
That's a city requirement,
It's a city
city regulation, so we have mobile home park zoning basically.
Ah,
So you can only have mobile homes and mobile home parks.
okay.
It's part of the reason why you can't have fixed foundation tiny homes,
Right.
because you
Okay.
basically would be displacing those mobile homes.
Could
over
you
time.
have tiny homes on wheels?
You, I don't see why not, but I don't know.
So
That's
if
the
a
zoning
mobile
issue.
park owner, private owner wanted to sell, they can only sell to another mobile park operator, is that correct?
Is that true of the county as well? Is
We
it,
have, I think so, yeah, because it's in the comprehensive plan that applies to both the county and the city. Yes,
okay. Well, that's a huge step in the right direction, of preserving it.
I mean, it's been that way for 30 years. So.
Thank you. I didn't know that. Okay, all right, so next item of business is approved letter to council for January retreat. And I'm just wondering, did everybody have a chance? I apologize for not getting it out when I thought, but then it turns out I had.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what was happening there in my whole technology world. I saw it stuck in my outbox and I was like, oh no. And then somebody's like, no, you already sent that. Huh. Good job, me. So really my question is like, are we in the place to vote for approval?
I've read it and I would love it to just to review it quickly before we go to vote.
Jay, can we bring it up on the screen? Did you say?
I can't.
Does that seem like a bad idea?
It just invites group editing, but
Who did I hear from that said that they reviewed it? Looks good. Any of you?
I did.
Okay,
I like it.
I think it's really, really good. And it does mention manufactured communities.
mhm. So, okay, so I guess my question is do you have it on your phone there? You looking at it on your screen?
Yes,
Okay,
I'll pull it up.
what?
Just kidding.
I think the content, I think it's well written and I don't see any mistakes.
Thank you, Lauren. I think she did a good job of taking feedback from last meeting and editing and making changes and. So Philip, anything else? You happy?
I'm happy. I mean, there's a kind of part of me that wants to open up a can of worms, but
Okay, we're not changing the
I'd
letter,
hate
but
for,
I want to hear about your.
I'd hate for
worms.
Jay to stretch his eyes as he rolls them back too far in the back of his head. But
I would be interested in knowing
Well,
what you're thinking.
well, just one thing we might consider when we write letters to city council. And I don't think we ought to do it for this letter. It's fine the way it is, but they're gonna get letters from all the boards and various other political action committees and, and I think it's difficult for a letter written this way to stand out as something where they would like, after they read it, they would remember anything we said, in a like, what was the thing that we came with that wasn't just sort of like, keep doing all the good housing stuff,
Like, how did we stand out with
Yeah.
a point that we think is
Yeah.
important?
And selfishly, if I was wanting to like get anything or take one thing or two things away, I would just be like, sharing housing is my, like that's my little, it's my little soapbox for this year. And it's a low hanging fruit. And here's these things that are kind of in motion. Please support this. It's mentioned here and I'm really glad it's in there. This is like, it's not very a friendly thing to do to like upend the strategy of how we write letters as we're getting ready to approve one. So I'm really not trying to be mean or disruptive here, but as I'm kind of reading through it now, that's sort of what I was kind of surfacing for me. It's like, maybe we ought to like just, highlight 2 or 3 things. I mean, that's kind of that's what the point of this was too, honestly. So I'll just be quiet.
Well, it sounds like Philip just volunteered to write them.
Yeah, exactly.
And guess what?
We know what it's gonna say.
So you think we-
Shared housing.
you think
I
we
don't know.
should-
I think by then I might be on the land value tax.
Okay.
I think we should drop a couple of bombs.
No,
No,
bombs. What kind of bombs?
well, like something startling that I
Oh, yeah.
remember.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got ideas along those lines, but
Yeah, I mean, that, I agree with what you just said. I also think that if we want to introduce
yeah,
a radically new or different or innovative topic, that's.
or
That's-
just to
that's a
like, or just to
recommendation.
have a singular focus on something that would help them remember anything from my letter, but I don't.
Another one in like June.
Yeah.
So council is now gonna be requesting 2 letters a year.
I appreciate what you're saying. I mean, it's the same concept of, job posting that gets
Yeah.
500 resumes. Like, how do you make yours stand out? And I appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
But I really
And
do, I do like all these things in here, so I'm happy to vote yes for it, and I don't really want to cause trouble tonight.
I do think I'd be interested in exploring your idea of kind of making a splash in another way. Like, would that be appearing at a council meeting and you have your 3 minutes and it's like that song Tequila, right? It's just like a song, whatever. And then you say shared housing. I'd be interested in just kind of exploring some other ways to be able to be like singularly impactful like that. I think it would be interesting.
Well, I also like, just to counter my own earlier point, we do have 3 nice bold bullets. And the first one is BVCP, which we've been talking about for 2 years. And I'm glad it's front and center and that they have yet another thing they can point to say people are, different, these different organizations are supporting what we're doing along these lines. So I think it's important.
I also am really happy with the second point and the 3 bullets there. I think that's stands out.
So,
Michael, do you have, you good?
Yep.
I think I'm good. I mean,
Cool.
I agree with Philip, but like, what are we gonna come up with? It's startling, and how many letters are gonna get? 40? I mean.
Only 30, don't exaggerate.
I think, if we were to tease out some ideas that are not in this letter and produce a targeted recommendation at a later date, January or whatever it is, that would carry a lot more weight than whatever this letter is.
So does someone want to make a motion?
Uh,
Lauren, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't have anything else, and I appreciate Jay's minor comments here in red line. Yeah, hopefully we incorporated all the revisions based on the last discussion.
I would add that I think having the Bloomberg bullet is important because we don't want them to forget that they did that and to come up with some new ideas that merit a lot more exploring. I think we cut a couple of their bullet points out from Bloomberg, didn't we?
Yep, that was intentional.
How long was that Bloomberg Harvard thing?
How long did it last?
Yeah.
9 months?
Okay, I motion we approve this letter as written and submit it to council.
I second.
Awesome. All in favor?
I
Yeah, I'll take care of it for you.
Excellent.
Thanks, James.
Motion passed. Yay. Okay, great. Thank you all.
And I'll copy you all with the final.
All right, so have work plan review. So you guys all saw the current work plan attached to the minutes, and I just wanted to spend a little time and do some brainstorming and figure out kind of what topics we might want to dive into this coming year. We do have Lauren's putting together a panel with some awesome experts for the January meeting on neuro-inclusive housing. So that'll be really great. We also have potentially in February or March an ADU update. Boulder Valley Comp Plan presentation, February, March, Jay?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. It's on the list.
They haven't scheduled anything yet.
Okay. Can we make it, oh, you got it. That's. Couple little things. So the land use tax. Karen's no longer here.
Okay.
Philip, are you still interested in
Yes. I
that
haven't-
topic? That was a topic that you.
I'm very interested in it. I haven't really started scheming on how to present it or analyze it or whatnot. So for me, it's kind of like on the horizon of things I want to get done next year, helping promote a meeting that around this subject.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that land use tax or that land value tax? Like,
Yeah.
do you have like, what do you want to learn about, or do you have any ideas like what kind of experts we'd be looking at? I'm just trying to understand it a little bit better.
Yeah. I don't have prepared remarks on this, and I'm not an expert.
Okay, just wing it.
Yeah. So land value tax is a way of restructuring our tax code in a pretty profound way. So it's going to be a controversial, heavy lift. And so it's kind of just, my initial goal is to start a conversation in the community. It might get, angry replies, and it might just get squashed and go nowhere. But the idea is that you restructure the taxing in a way that is based on the value of land and not necessarily on the value of the structures. that are on it.
Mm.
And there's an aspect of, there's a couple things to it. One is that I think the idea is to make better use of valuable land. So one of the problems we have lots of valuable land that has kind of very little infrastructure on it. And that's due to zoning codes, but it's also due to the way that we incentivize what gets built where. And land value tax is kind of a way of thinking about how to incentivize making better use of valuable land. There's also an aspect of it where like implementing a wealth tax is very difficult because political inertia, and even if you had 100% political support, it's logistically difficult. And land value tax can be kind of a proxy for that sort of change. So I probably shouldn't say anymore because I'm not an expert, and I may have already misspoken about what it's all about, but
I'm not an expert either. Can I try to summarize what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Because I think I understand the concept. So I own a parking lot that's got average of 3 cars a day on it. And I'm taxed on that land as over a 5-story apartment building. It would behoove me, I'd be incentivized
that's
to be able to pay my taxes by building a real building there,
right.
which provides a resource that's valuable to the community, e.g. housing.
Which might require zoning changes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think it all
yeah,
goes
that's
together.
actually something we could make a recommendation on too in the future. I think we have in the past, like rezone parking for housing. We have excess parking in that city.
Cool.
The main motivation, my understanding, is that it discourages speculation. So people aren't holding on to land,
Right.
anticipating that the value is gonna go up.
Yeah.
Which Boulder has a lot of
Mhm.
that. But the challenge is the tax is not city specific. This is county, would probably even require the state to approve of any significant changes.
Because it's a tax increase.
Yeah, so we're unlikely to
just-
make a policy proposal. I just want to like have a kind of a comprehensive,
Yeah.
detailed summary of
I mean,
what
it's
it's
been
about.
done in other communities. It's actually not a new idea. It's decades.
Oh, I'm not
old.
saying it's not new. I mean, in fact, this is.
No, I'm saying that, there are barriers that can be overcome, is my point.
Has had any experts come and talk about this in the past?
Blazing the trail.
Blazing trail. Stirring the pot. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. That was really helpful and helps me understand about that. Okay. We still have on the list employer-created housing. Lauren, that potentially maybe bringing in Danica and some combination for that, yeah, maybe.
Sorry, what
The
does
employer,
Danica have to do with it?
I'm not sure. She created employer-based
Did she?
housing somewhere?
I know she
I'm-
did some workforce housing.
Mm. Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think we should decide if we want to talk about employer created housing or workforce housing. And yeah, there's several developers who have done some workforce housing, and also
But-
employer housing. So yeah, if
How are those different?
well, so employer created housing is for specific employee groups.
Ah,
Whereas workforce housing is more middle income
Got it.
housing for
Okay.
that 80 to 120% AMI.
Okay. Okay, so it seems still valuable to have that on our list, yes?
Sure.
Whatever
Yes.
that looks like, okay. Michael, so I'm just looking at what's on here because I want to just like kind of dig into them and see if it's really valuable to keep on the list. We can come up with ours as well. Michael, next phase ideas for family-friendly zoning. What were you thinking about with that?
Um,
Do you remember?
I think it goes back to a conversation I had with the mayor,
Mm.
where we talked about, yes, I do remember, thank you for jogging that.
Mhm.
It's great to have new zoning, but what additional measures do you take that are actually going to provide some affordability? As we've discussed in this board several times, just dividing lots and making more houses on the same lot is not an affordable solution. It's a less expensive solution for produces different housing types, but it's not going to create missing middle or workforce housing.
Mhm.
So what do we do next? And that's a totally open area for exploration. I don't have any solutions in my head. It's something we can talk about. Investigate, do some research, bring in other experts, discuss. And then, it'll be big on the council's agenda next year.
Mhm.
Michael, when do you step off the board?
I don't know, Jan, when do I get kicked off the board?
March.
Oh, March, I don't have much time to solve this problem.
Better get going.
What's that?
Better get going.
Gotta get going, yeah.
Well, maybe that's for real something we should look at for February. Do you have any ideas about what experts might be or?
I think there's gonna be a couple of forums on this before February. I know Better Boulder's putting together one. Do you know about that? And I'm
Okay.
hoping that will provide some new ideas. Maybe I think that, the Better Boulder Planning Committee should put on their agenda to be sure it's addressed, but
Are you talking about the vibrant neighborhood ordinances?
well, I think the family-friendly, vibrant neighborhoods, which are also vegan and low fat, or,
Plant-based.
there's a lot of overlap with
Plant-based.
missing middle strategies. And Better Boulder is apparently going to do a missing middle forum in
Oh, I see.
January.
I see. Okay.
I think they will come up with some new ideas.
Because those ordinances did make zoning changes to open up new housing opportunities on existing single-family lots,
Right. and I
which is
think-
not necessarily a developer target.
Yeah. Question is how you create some measure of affordability plus what's already been passed and is being implemented. Because again, if you take a lot like the one I live in and split into 3 houses, it's going to be 3 $1.5 million houses. It's, creates less expensive housing, but not affordable or attainable or workforce housing.
You know what you do? You wait 40 years.
Wait, 4 years?
40.
Oh, 40.
Because then what magically happens?
New construction is never affordable.
Yeah.
You pay a premium for new construction. And the fact that we haven't been creating these housing types for the past 40 years means we don't have a supply.
I can give a quick report out that supports Jay's point. This is a potential future tour for HAB. I got a preview of the office to housing conversion next to E-Town Hall. I think it's now called the Terraces.
Oh, right.
We had Gavin McMillan as a panelist and Phil Scholl. And they are 75% through that project. And it's going to turn out nicely. And it costs, this is not even new construction, it's an adaptive use. $1,100 a square foot. So the condos, there's 6 of them are going to range in price from about 1.2 million to 3 million.
Amazing locations.
I'd say valuable.
It's a nice project. I can't afford it. And
Adjacent west?
cash in lieu is about
Yes.
$500,000. Seems like it doesn't cover a lot of need compared to the amount of luxury housing that's been created, but they are demonstrating a point that this can be done with the right type of building. And they are well into doing it, even, I think I have a couple of units under contract. Gavin said we could tour it, but it's a little farther along, like post hard hat. So I think it's going to be done by
Oh, yeah,
March.
we had a presentation about this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now it's being done.
yeah, wow.
It's well into construction. So, yeah, it's expensive to build stuff.
And will you just think on that subject a
Sure.
little bit more?
Absolutely.
And we'll see if we can figure something out for February.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I was talking about this today, and I think that there are defined areas where you can make a difference. Land, financing, zoning. Fourth one is streamlining approvals. Whether it all adds up to a attainable unit is TBD.
Yeah. To me, the interesting thing about the vibrant neighborhood of zoning is that all those hundreds of properties that are now eligible for multi-family duplex or two houses are generally owned by single homeowners.
Right.
This is not developer pocket territory. And so there's an opportunity, I think, to inform, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing ordinance
Mhm.
learning sessions with the community. And it's interesting how people are surprised that, oh, this happened? Oh, my property can, I'm surprised that the developers haven't started approaching people, because this is, but I think if the information gets to the people, the homeowners, the residents, the long-term, landholders, early enough with some strategies, I think that because there's a lot of housing. Did the city do a map of how many parcels are in that 350 feet corridor around?
Sure, we did. Sure.
I mean, I see the maps, but I wonder if they know how many.
You have to go back and look at the memo.
I'm curious about the feedback.
No, I've been looking on the website and I never see the data, so I don't know if they have that. Is that a
Ask Carl.
mapping? I
Email
know.
Carl.
I do reach out to Carl all the time. Okay. Jay said to talk to you, Carl.
Yeah, don't tell him I sent you.
I'm curious about the feedback you've gotten. I don't know how many people you've talked to, but have you ever heard anybody say, oh my God, I've had my house for 30 years. I'm going to turn it into a triplex now. And
The interesting thing are in the north, like along 19th,
Mhm.
those are big lots to begin with, and a lot of people have bought the surrounding lots, so they have land.
Mhm.
So it's not about, shrinking the lot they're gonna live on to subdivide it. It's surprising to me how, and they're all, people in their 80s. These are old people that have been here forever that are sitting, talk about value, sitting on this land. And in their minds, like, well, I'm just waiting to put it for sale and sell it to a developer.
Mhm.
And what I'm offering them is
Do something now.
you can take charge and own it and sell it because they can all be sold, right? So it's about education,
Mhm.
right? We talked about just getting, even with the manufactured housing, just get the information out there so people know what their choices.
Fantastic you're doing that, but what kind of outcome do you envision from that? Like,
Well, because
what
I have an
would they
architecture-
build?
because I have an architectural practice and I have a building system that I've invented.
Mhm.
And that, radically cuts costs for the shell, labor and material. We're looking at creating a model that will put things together at much less than 750 square foot. And it'll be hybrid, part modular, part stick built, but with components
Mhm.
fabricated. So it's a whole new way of thinking about building small. I specialize in small, so that's what I think about all the time. And the idea of bringing the buyers into the process, or, young professionals or retirees that want a new house, whatever that buyer component. It's changing the model and moving away, because construction, especially residential, has gone the way of commercial construction. There's a GC and there's all of these subs. And you will never get affordability with that model. You've got to, shake it up from the get-go. So this all came as a result of the upzoning, that there are possibilities on the table. And that's what I've been working on in the last couple of months, is to identify how, and this week I'm putting together a good team of professionals to start, because some people are saying, okay, tell me how I start. Right, so, but it's a different way of looking at it, because we usually sit back and think, okay, the developers are going to be the ones in charge. This is saying, no, let the long-term residents be the ones in charge. And because they can be sold, which is not the case with ADUs. ADUs are unaffordable unless you have money. But because they can be sold, they are real viable options for people. But anyway, there's my little, more than a minute.
That was like a Yogi Berraism. It's like, things are affordable if you have money.
The ADUs, it's ridiculous what's happening. Well, when public with the $750 a square foot, I'm like, don't do that, Jay. Don't make it official. It's sad, but anyway, that's an excellent topic. I'd be happy to
It's a great topic. So.
be a resource
I
for
don't
you.
want to belabor this, but I'm really curious again about the outcome. So
Mhm.
I live on North 19th Street. I don't say I did.
Right.
And I have a big lot
Mhm.
and I want to stay there.
Right.
So I get to do that in a version of the house I live in now.
Right.
I'm building 2 other units that are modestly scaled. And I'm able to sell those to new homeowners at perhaps an attainable price.
That's the vision. And I think that
Right,
was the
good question.
promise of the vibrant neighborhood upzoning, was that we would start creating housing for families, for young professionals,
Right.
for retired people.
Okay, so my point in raising this as a bullet point was it's family friendly, vibrant zoning enough. Does council need to take other policy initiatives if they really want to see
I think
this
it's in the
outcome?
market. I think at this point, it's up to the people, like the professionals, like myself,
So the market
to
is
step up.
totally against affordability of any kind.
Well, see, this is, I think, the challenge. Everybody thinks that the market is the developers who's all about profit.
Hmm.
The market can be those individual homeowners. We've got to change the paradigm. We've got to let people know, you guys have power, people, with these hundreds. I want to find a number. How many are within 350, because it's 350 feet, right, of the transit corridor? How many single family in those 3, 4 zoning, how many houses are we really talking about? I think it's hundreds. Just visually on the map, right?
Mhm.
But it's a change in thinking about who's doing the developing.
Maybe you can find out that number.
I'm gonna dig, who do I ask? Carl.
Jay, what is the R&R program guidelines?
That was from Karen, actually, so we can get rid of that one.
Because it has your name on it?
Karen,
No,
you
but
watching?
do you remember what it was?
So we related to mobile homes, remember we got a $2.8 million grant
Uh-huh,
from the state
Uh-huh.
to rehab for
Uh-huh.
low-income homeowners.
uh-huh.
So we, starting in January, when we hire a new staff person, they'll be coming up with the specific guidelines for the program. And so Karen asked if AB could review the applications, and I was like, no, because if they meet the meet the requirements, then they're approved. But we could share the guidelines before they're finalized. But that's a pretty short agenda item, but I don't know exactly when it'll be.
Okay. Do you have other ideas? Michael? You want to task us with any things after you're gone?
Again, I feel I'm really looking forward to this forum in January, because I think that might produce some new ideas.
I'm not sure if that's been advertised yet, but as soon as I see it.
Isn't it by invitation?
Oh, is it by?
I think it is, yeah.
So one thing, we went to the, Holly Hendrickson and I went to the demography summit 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It was fascinating.
Wow, yeah.
There's some really interesting trends that are happening. And I asked Holly if she'd be interested in coming and sharing some of the highlights, and she, of course, would love to.
Is that kind of the trends discussion thing here?
Exactly.
Excellent.
And then if there's anything else specifically from like Housing Colorado, that remember we talked about that. Although Holly didn't go.
Are we getting older?
I'm sorry?
Are we getting older?
Yes. Well, the most interesting part, I'll just share one tidbit. The big thing for me, so Boulder County, Jefferson County, and Arapahoe County would have lost population in the last decade if it wasn't for in-migration
Hmm.
and international in-migration. So it used to be that 80% of the in-migration to Colorado was national, and 20% was international. And then the last decade that switched. It's been 80% international. So all of the projections have for Colorado in terms of growth have been revised down. They're still projecting some increase, but then following more closely with the national trend. So Colorado isn't the fastest growing among the fastest growing states anymore.
Are we okay with that?
It has huge implications for everything.
But I mean, again, I think we're used to thinking that growth is the only way to go.
Mhm.
Right? Paradigm shift.
It is.
Is it time for a paradigm shift?
Implications with simple things like tax revenue, sales tax revenue.
Right. That's part of the challenge that City of Boulder is facing, right?
Mhm.
Declining revenue, increasing demands, aging population, so we have fewer workers supporting those who are retired.
Yeah, that'd be cool to hear about some of that. Okay. Awesome.
I did read, this is a little random, I'm sorry. I did read an article yesterday that could relate to the manufactured housing discussion. There's a program in Lincoln, Nebraska for I believe it's a city to fund energy upgrades for apartment owners in exchange for their pledge to stabilize rents. I can send the article around.
So just say that again. So for them, okay.
Let's say I own a 10-unit apartment building
Yeah.
and you know, the city paid me to install heat pumps or whatever,
Mhm.
you know, energy saving, put solar panels on the roof. I'd say, I'd have to agree, it's like a deed restriction. Rent will be capped at this amount of increase. Like voluntary rent control with a
Mhm.
carrot to make it
Mhm.
happen.
So you're saying that energy incentives and rebates, you find a mechanism for bring them to.
Well, it might apply to mobile home parks or certainly the small apartment buildings as well. We did hear about energy bills being a big challenge for people who live there. And how do we get the owners of the parks to, you know, make some of those upgrades and have an incentive to do that?
I'd like to read that. That sounds interesting. Lauren, did you have anything to add to the work plan?
Nothing else, no.
Okay. Um, since you have your phone, you want to just pull up our letter, which was approved, and see if that triggers any thoughts?
The letter we just approved.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Philip, we can always talk about home sharing initiatives, but what, what could that look like? Like, we've had some guests talking about the benefits and what that could look like and stuff, but how else could we expand on that topic to be able to learn more to make recommendations to council?
Well, I guess I would defer to Jay. Sounds like there's some things in the works on this topic, and I'm happy to kind of watch that unfold and participate as I can. So,
So for the others, Philip agreed to help us with sort of a group discussion on how to roll out potential home sharing program in Boulder County. So he'll be sort of the representative and report back to the group.
with your permission, yes.
I support it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Did you say that CU is a part of that, or is like the?
Yes, we're trying to involve CU, so like we want to have the event at CU, we want to involve their student council. And their faculty, or not the faculty, but their staff.
So I would just say for this subject, just expect some updates. I don't see any need to have an initiative where we're like brainstorming new ideas around it. One theme that has often filled our work plan is just anticipating what's on the docket for city council that's housing related. Do we have is that coming up in the second half of the meeting or no? But are there things that we need to be anticipating that are coming up in their work plan? I guess that's ill-defined because they're going to be putting that together. Sorry.
Well, so Housing and Human Services, we have a work plan. No big surprises there. You've heard about all of our current initiatives, things that we're working on. I try to give you updates regularly. What we don't know, right, is what comes out of the council retreat, which is January 12th and 13th. Did I get that right? Yeah. So, and that's why you're writing a letter, is to help inform that. So hopefully there will be something related to housing, since housing, homelessness, and public safety are the top three concerns that we always hear about. And then there will be a citywide city strategic plan update starting again next year, and that will identify more longer term city work plan items. So, but yeah, no big things on the horizon. Because we're also in a very financially constrained environment right now.
Is there anything else that we want to take a look at more in relation to the city-related affordable childcare spaces or the city-supported affordable assisted care living facilities? Those were a couple of the points from the Bloomberg thing. One thing I did have as a potential work plan item is just senior housing in general. And so maybe just kind of statistically, like learning about what options exist and potentially thinking about what the needs are in relation to senior housing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, we just toured Hilltop, so that's the latest BHP affordable housing project specific to older adults. There's Weimar, Lauren worked on. Golden West. I mean, there's a lot out there. Not aware of the next project specific to older adults.
Do we know what the existing senior housing numbers are relative to senior housing needs? Do we have that kind of data?
So it's not broken out by sort of age, but we do know that, population is aging. We've heard anecdotally that a lot of people are concerned that they won't be able to stay in Boulder. And that they don't really have a lot of choices when they move. So, I mean, that's part of, one of the things we're trying to help with, and the comp plan was to be, one of the things we heard throughout the Bloomberg was that change in life events precipitates a need for a change in housing, and being able to provide as many choices as possible is what people need, right? So it's not specific to older adults, it could be someone who needs more accessibility. So yeah, I know it's not super satisfying, but a lot of our approach to affordable housing is when an opportunity presents itself, we pursue it. So where's the opportunity? Where can we get the biggest bang for our buck? Because there's a need all across the board. And we were just talking about this today. So again, the biggest need in the community is that 0 to 50% rental. Even though, we're doing fairly well, BHP is, doing a fantastic job and meeting that market, they're not meeting the full demand. That's where the biggest demand is today. And that could be older adults.
As a rental.
Yeah. So, I mean, every affordable unit we create is an opportunity for an older adult, particularly if they're in a fixed income. We just only have a handful of communities where it's only for older adults. Some people like that. Not everybody wants to live in a community with other older adults.
Any other ideas? Well,
Other stuff will come up, I promise.
yeah,
It's never over your idea, Karen, the SRO.
oh, I still have it on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to keep that in the work plan?
yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah, Karen's often puts names on here, right? The SRO thing, you can add. Maybe not, I should ask him, let me just ask him. Now we can ask Chip about the rent data, if that's still of interest. I'm not sure. All right, anything else on that topic? All right, if you randomly think of an idea, just email me. I'll add it to the list. All right, cool. Jay, tell us some staff stuff, city stuff.
Staff stuff.
Staff stuff.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting this afternoon regarding communication between boards and council, reiterating this first letter. You guys are well ahead of the deadline of December 19th to get the letter turned in. before their retreat in January. And then it was mentioned today that they'll be doing a second letter, a second yearly letter. So one right before the retreat and then one in like June or July, but a date hasn't been set yet, nor a prompt for what council wants. This year is a shortened year for council priorities because of the change in the way that voting is going to be done. So this council is a 1-year council. And there'll be a vote again. So priorities are going to be a little shortened this year. There was discussion regarding the recruitment for boards and commissions. Applications will open on December 8th and go through January 25th for all boards. They will be hosting a job fair open house style event like they did last year, but it will be on January 5th. The ask is for at least one staff member and if possible, a board member to attend. They are the city manager's office that kind of organizes the boards will be providing me, hopefully, with some more information regarding any information to be tabled at the event. We don't have a meeting between now and January 5th, so we'll be looking for emails and reminders if anybody wants to join and attend that to try and garner some new applications. Interviews for applicants will be held February 2nd through 13th, and then appointments will be there's only one regular meeting in March, which I believe is the second week of March, but I can't remember the date at the moment. And that's when the new board members will be appointed to our boards.
Tiffany, when was the deadline for applications, did you say?
January 25th. So they'll open December 8th and close on January 25th.
Did you say there is a date for the open house?
January 5th. So far, they kept saying that date and then also, but it's tentative. So it's possible that it might change, but I have a feeling that they'll probably keep that date.
We'll let you know
Yeah.
when it's final.
When I have
And ask for a volunteer.
Yeah, when I get any more like actual details, we should be getting some official information here in the next week or two. And that's all the information that we were given today regarding communication between boards and council.
Didn't want to talk about one meeting.
So I don't know if you guys are aware, but the city council has moved their format, the way that their like minutes and memos and things are all housed in a program called One Meeting. Over the next year, all boards and commissions will be transitioning to using One Meeting for like our agendas and packets and things like that. So we won't have like PDFs and things like that. You'll get a link to the document that is like housed on the city website. So when like the chair and Jay are working on things, you guys will have I don't know how Jay will decide how you guys work on it together, where you work on it in the system or how you work on it currently. But yeah, that's going to be a slow transition because there are 26, I think, boards and commissions in the city. And so they're going to slowly migrate. So I don't have a timeline specifically, just sometime in 26 we'll be kind of transitioning from the way that we've been doing it, you know, Word, PDF, things like that into One Meeting. So not too scary. I imagine planning board is going to be one of the very first ones to move.
Will those links be downloadable?
Yeah, you can download the packet.
It'd be nice to have continuity.
Yeah, so some of our operations might have to change because they're trying to make all the boards and commissions more consistent. So
It did seem like that there was room for flexibility and like individuality, but they are trying to get, because there are such a variety of boards and there hasn't been a lot of standardization between all of the boards. There's a lot of different ways that we all take notes or take minutes, do agendas, things like that. So there'll be a little bit more streamlined and continuity between all the boards and commissions.
So is this like Google Docs for boards and commissions?
Sort of, one meeting is a Microsoft 365 platform, so it uses Microsoft Word and, as far as all of the editing and things, it's not gonna be a crazy program or anything that anybody has to learn. It's just, it's more on our side, on the staff side, on loading the documents and then making them available for everybody, but I imagine we'll be getting a lot more direction as the clerk's office kind of decides on the cadence and which boards are going first. But planning board is usually the guinea pig because they're a large, very complicated board. They want to get that one right, and if that one's right, all the rest of them will be easy. So I imagine you'll be getting those started soon.
Thank you for letting us know.
Well, yeah, the meeting was this afternoon, so I'm sure they'll be giving you.
Thomas will tell us next
Yeah,
time.
giving you
Next week.
updates.
I'll liaise the information.
So, 2 weeks ago, City Council adopted the Affordable Housing Impact Fee. So it's a vote of 9-2. It's kind of interesting. The two people were not the two I thought would vote against it. But basically they accepted staff and hub and planning board's recommendation after lots of discussion. So that'll be effective January 31st. Generate just over $1 million a year in additional funding for affordable housing, which is good. So, and then Boulder Mod. So I think you all know the first duplex was set on election day. So it went extremely well. So other than traffic on Arapahoe slowing us down, all 4 boxes were set and setting went perfectly. They've already roofed
Except for the
it,
door
sheathed
frame.
it, shingled it, and are working on siding and the front porch and the side shed. Hopefully it'll be done in the next few weeks. First family will move in. We'll have an open house before the families move in, just so people can see it. And then hopefully right around that time, we'll be setting the second box or second duplex right next door. So you'll be able to see side by side.
So those 4 boxes were 1 duplex?
That's great.
Interesting. Yeah, it'd be great to do a tour.
Mhm.
Is the retention going of people who live there now, hanging in and planning to come back to their new homes?
At Ponderosa?
Yeah.
Well, most of the folks that are moving in haven't left, right? So they're living in their mobile homes until they move into a new home.
Oh, okay. So it stayed.
Exactly. So that's how we handled the displacement issue. Just like traditionally, everybody moves out, you build it, and then everybody moves back in, but most people don't. So,
Exciting times.
yeah, it was a big week. It was very exciting to watch those boxes get set successfully.
I saw the pictures you said, that was pretty cool.
So yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, anything else tonight? Anything? Lauren, anything?
No, thank you.
Well, I'll make it a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Bye all.
Be well. Happy Thanksgiving
You too.
And Merry Christmas.
Oh, right.
That's right.